So I'm starting this video off with a special. It's December 27th right now, time of filming. By the time you guys watch this, it'll probably be February. But during the Boxing Week special at Home Depot, this tool, this cutoff wheel, was $169, but it came with a free battery. Now Home Depot was out of batteries, so they were substituting these ones right here. And I only had to pay $30 difference to get this 2-pack of battery with this tool. And I think this retailed at $119, and this was $169. So my tab was like $30. So it was basically just over $200 for this kit. Anyways, I thought that was pretty smoking. Let's get to work. Well, the table's cleaned off for a few minutes. Let's start installing all these pieces. So this is what I've done here. As you can see, the fuse block for the LS harness is right there. And I repurposed this battery post that used to be on the other side there. I utilized it here because the Jeep wire cable is so short, and then I can run a wire from here across to the alternator, and plus it'll give me some other hookups for accessories. I need to put the water temperature sensor in right now on the block right down there. This is a little bit longer than I would have liked, but I'm going to roll with it. So I'm just going to, once you got her gooped up, now that I got the transmission dipstick in, throw a couple liters, fill her up. Well, not fill her up, but get a couple liters, get her started. All right, that heater hose fits over there. Maybe that might work out. So the only reason why I'm gonna put a couple liters in at a time, because I was reading an article on a 4L60 first fill after rebuild, and it says put a couple liters in at a time, start it for a couple seconds, turn it off, refill it, couple more, and keep doing that. Because the article said that the guy who wrote it said if you put in X number of liters at first, there's a good possibility that it may just piss out. So for what it's worth, a couple seconds isn't going to hurt anything. I don't know, what do you guys think? Will 3 liters be enough just to fire it and turn it off quickly? I'm gonna, like I said before, I'm gonna crank it over by hand once that oil filter system's hooked up, just to make sure that the engine is primed with oil. So without the plugs and everything else, crank over the engine. Just let her crank and pump, so maybe that'll help with the transmission as well. And then I'll probably add a couple more liters. So then 5 liters that I'll add, because this is number 3, and then holy fuck, that's a fail. And then 1 already in the torque converter. That should be safe enough. That worked out good. Guess it's time to pull that off again. Fuck. Now that the radiator's in place, it'll be a good learning experience to see how it's gonna go. So rework is one of my biggest pet peeves of all time. Unfortunately, sometimes you just cannot get around it due to the circumstances. As I start this all over again. Crappy thing is, gotta do everything by hand. Actually, my M12 ratchet would probably spin these out, but batteries in the charger, and I haven't opened up the other ones yet because they would have to be charged as well. I guess on the bright side, since there's no radiator hoses on this side, this won't become a problem. It's busting free, and of course I just leave this one in the middle here. This is really becoming a pain in my butt, is what this is becoming. I'm putting blame on that seal in there for right now. I don't think that lip's supposed to be bent up either, so I got a heel dolly underneath there in the socket. I'm just gonna beat her in. So this is a low temperature brazing rod that I picked up like a long time ago. So this is where I'm at. Like I said, years ago, I bought this stuff and another one when I had that aluminum radiator that blew after my trip to the Yukon. I didn't really like it, but it's just been sitting in my garage forever and has this resin right here, and I just thought I'd just try it on top of the power steering pump, and it actually worked pretty good. So for this part here, I used the right stuff, and I put right stuff all on top of that little rubber gasket, and I put the right stuff on top of here, a thin layer. And then I used the right stuff on the edge of this fitting right here. So I'm hoping I'll get a seal now. If not, I don't know what the hell to do. Fingers crossed. Still got the concern if the control arm is going to come up and smash the power steering pump as well. Might have to look at doing different accessory bracket. But I think the Novak emulator, I'm gonna mount it off the daytime light module right there. And I think the computer, I'm gonna build a bracket and mount it there. That's my thoughts. Just get a little fire going tonight. I love having fires in the wintertime. Smoke a cigar, have a couple beers, have a nice relaxing evening. So yeah, this morning over a cup of coffee, I was debating because Home Depot still has the sale on, and I knew the Home Depot in Shaughnessy was out of the batteries. So this drill was $129. Would have came with a free battery, $89 value. However, same deal. These ones here were $119 for the pair, but except this time, they actually gave me $99 off of these batteries. So I only paid $20 difference. Smoking deal. Didn't really need the drill. It'll come in handy, but when you get the drill and battery combo, it makes it worth it. Once again, you just think that you can lay on me, Tom Gatz. Why is that? Did you ask and see if I wanted you to lay on me? Are you even paying attention to me? Are you trying to avoid the camera, Tom Gatz? Well, there's two things I'm not fond of. One is the smell of gear oil, and the next is the smell of transmission oil. And let's hope I'm finished with this. Because if it's going to fight me to the death over and over again, I'm better off to buy the kit which relocates the bracket. And I would just be done with it permanently. think this funnel with the heater hose is going to work out pretty good. Let's throw some more transmission oil in the power steering. Now I'm going to finish hooking up the oil filter relocation and put 4 liters of oil in the engine. I already screwed the filter in hand tight, so good there. So I just got my line and I'm just putting it on there hand tight. Looking underneath, nothing yet, but it's only been 40 minutes. Now looking over here, these are the little things you got to pay attention. And you're going to have to skirt this fuel line and this oil line together to kind of keep it away from the steering and the exhaust. And then it's kind of rubbing, I don't know, can you see? My hand's in the way, on the shelf. So I'm going to have to rubberize that so it doesn't wear through. Well, that's done. Another thing accomplished. Now to put some oil in her. To be honest with you, I don't even know how much this oil pan holds, but I think safely I can get away with putting in 4 liters. Oh, why did I grab the funnel with the screen? This is gonna take forever. This is liter number 4. Then I'm gonna check the oil. To be honest with you, I don't even know how much oil typically these engines hold. I'm gonna guess 5.5, 5. I know my truck, the 5.4, is like fucking 7 liters. It's a pig. That's 4 liters. I'm just gonna have a look at the transmission. Oh yeah, dipstick shows that there's some because everything's in the pan. Torque converter hasn't been filled yet, so I could probably... Now let's see what the engine dipstick says. Four liters doesn't show anything on there yet. Then again, this is an aftermarket dipstick too, so who knows how accurate it is. But it is showing nothing. Well, I purchased 6 liters of oil for this, so let's just throw in number 5. Yeah, showing oil at 5. I think in the end, once all the lines are primed and everything else will probably be 6 liters it'll take from that short pan. Now I'm gonna do something fun, something I don't need to do, is I'm gonna make or machine a piece for this transmission temperature sensor. I used to have this in the 4.2 RLE where I dropped the pan and I welded a bung in, had in there, but I'm gonna put it on the inline instead. And I could just go, you know, with this plumbing tee right here, get a bushing adapter and then stick it in, but that looks kind of cheesy. And I got these, you know, fancy fittings right here, and I still have this piece left over that we machined that ring off of. So what I'm gonna do is drill the hole right through for the tap size, machine the surface down. We're gonna face this off. I think it'll turn out pretty nice. Drilled to my target depth. Now I'm gonna chase it with this one here, and this is the tap drill size. I believe it's 7/16 for a 1/4 inch. the live center back in. Now I'm just gonna turn it to make it all nice. Should have actually just cut this end off, but now I'm gonna be stuck facing it down. That's all right. So if you ever notice in the back of taps there's a small hole, I just got it in my lathe, which is gonna keep it steady as I tap the threads in. And I make sure the emergency stop is put on the lathe. I can just hold my wrench, turn the chuck, turn that, repeat. It occurred to me when I started machining this, I already got that tap for MPT, but that's going to become a problem. But it's not. I'm going to machine this top surface flat a little bit. I'm going to drill and tap 3 or 1/4 MPT bung to reducer, and that should work. Savagely cut it off with the grinder. So now I gotta face it all smooth. This is it so far, nothing too fancy. I'm gonna drill through the top all the way through. I'm gonna tap it. So I'm just getting the mill set up, and one of the bolts broke off because it's cheap Chinese steel, I guess. Good thing those T-slot nuts fit in there and 3/8 bolt. So I got this part drilled. What I want to do now is got a 5/8 end mill in there, and I just want to do a 5/8 to flatten the surface. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to tap that for a 1/4 inch. Lubricate the hole. This is not a tap socket, but 12-point 1/2 inch. The thing when you go this route, when you go by hand, is that you are totally at mercy on how straight you get it started. Top's done tapped, sides are tapped. What I did now is I scribed some lines, and I'm gonna machine some fins in there now, just kind of make it look better. Maybe add a little bit of cooling, not that it'll matter for this. Just machining my last cut here, and it would have turned out awesome, except for I didn't have the piece tightened down tight enough in the clamp, and then when I made my first cut it drifted on me. But oh well, it is what it is. All these are being cut to the same depth. Wish it had an auto feeder. Powder coat metal filings. Milwaukee Vacuum does it all. So in the end, I definitely could have just got away with that. But that's boring and looks cheesy. Even though I screwed this piece up, I think it still looks a hell of a lot cooler to use that. I'll get that reducing bushing. So I talked about what happens. I didn't have it tightened down. And the original cut was supposed to have been here, but it drifted over to the side. So I got this piece is like really thin when it should have been a little bit thicker. But once I get that reducer bushing, we'll powder coat it. I got 2 more brackets to make, the powder coat. And I still got to make the ECM bracket or PCM bracket and the Novak TAC emulator bracket. And I think that's it for brackets. And then I'm waiting on exhaust pieces to come in. We're getting closer. Soon. So far, so good. She's dry. It's been about 5 hours. Might be good. All right, well, after a motherfucking beer time fail in recording, this is take 2. I'm not sure why that had a foil top. So what happened is I set things up like I normally do, the camera, and start doing the filming, except this time when I played it back, I was like partially cut out of the shot because I must have, I don't know, I must have like zoomed in at the last moment. But anyways, motherfucking beer time. We got some steam whistles. Premium Pilsner. I don't mind that beer. It's pretty good camping, drinking beer. Anyways, moving along. I got the part I needed for that transmission sensor piece I'm building there. All my other parts came in. I think I have everything now that I need to get the LS fired up at this point of the game. However, my end vision and how I wanted the engine compartment to look is not going to be anywhere near that because I have like running out of real estate and everything's just going to end up getting piled in there. You know, hindsight looking back, if I didn't want to keep like the anti-theft and all that, I could have just gutted the computer. All that wiring harness would come out. That'd be so much more freed up. I could have put the LS computer where the Jeep computer was, but now I got like 2 sets of wiring harnesses in there, and yeah, she's gonna look like a spaghetti fucking mess, kind of like my hair, but I should be thankful I'm not fucking receding or going bald yet. Anyways, motherfucking beer time. I'm gonna shut her down here. This time I know it's gonna work. We're gonna continue getting shit ready. Every day brings us closer. I'll talk to you guys next video.